Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Plus. Good to see you here on Google Plus. So just me, or is the neighborhood getting a little bigger? Huh? We're seeing more fans, more followers, more shares, more plus ones. Kind of liking it. Nice work, Vic. I think his last name is pronounced Gundotra, and the team over there, Bradley Horowitz, all those guys. It's looking all right around here. Huh? Oh, look at all those comments. That's impressive. Oh no, wait, the comments are on the left, right? That way. Maybe it's that way. We'll find out. So I want to give you some tips, right? Some tips to help grow your fans and followers. You probably noticed, right, that a lot of these social networks, not just Google+, but Tumblr, Pinterest, obviously Twitter, Facebook, all getting really big. And having more fans, more followers on those networks makes your account much more powerful and gives you all sorts of influence across the marketing sphere that can be leveraged for everything from building links and working on SEO, to growing your marketing presence, to doing business development, to getting invitations to events, to having sponsorships or advertising connections, and wow, social powerful. 4 tips. These things have worked incredibly well for me and for us. They've worked well for a lot of the people we've seen in this sphere. They've even started working well for a few of the smaller bloggers I know out there. Number 1, want more fans, more followers, bigger networks, study what goes hot. One of the best things that you can do to grow your fan follower base is to share content. By content, I don't just mean what you had for breakfast. I definitely don't just mean your insights on the world, although those can be interesting and helpful. But really, when you share great content on other sites and pages, links that get you the most fans, the most follower growth, the most retweets, the most reshares, the most plus ones, that's the stuff that tends to do the best. On Facebook and Google+, a lot of it is very media-centric. On Twitter and on smaller microblogging services, it's much more about the content in the link itself. If you study what goes hot, there's a few specific websites I'd check out. Topsy.com, Pop URLs, the hot section on Google+, there's a specific link over on the sidebar there you can check out. Reddit.com and techmeme.com. All of these, when you're browsing what makes it to the top of these sites, look at the title. Not just what's in the title, but how it's phrased, how it's put together, the focus of the content, the format of the content. You may have seen some awesome stuff that's like comic book style infographics and HTML5 interactive stuff. Pay attention to what is working well. Oftentimes it's stuff without ads, it's stuff on a clean background, it's not just text with advertisements around it. And who shared it? Who started sharing it? Google Plus is particularly phenomenal for this because they will show you ripples. Ripples are huge. They are public. You can see them for any URL. That means you can go to Topsy, see what's hot in the last 5 days with your particular words, search for any keywords you want, and then go to Google Plus and look at who's sharing on Google Plus, who's gotten a lot of ripples for that content. Now you know that's the person to target when you have content in that sphere on Google Plus. Phenomenal. Bitly, by the way, is a great way to do this for Twitter. If they're using the Bitly shared links, you can sort of see who's oftentimes who's shared and reshared it down at the bottom below the statistics on Bitly. Number 2, stay on topic. Stay on topic. My Star Wars reference there. But don't be artificially constrained. What I mean by this is if you're in the world of automobiles and cars, and that's where you're trying to build up your social media presence, don't feel like you have to always just talk about cars, but also don't be going way off into left field and talking about, say, baseball. Get my left field baseball, you can talk about infrastructure, right? Government projects, infrastructure projects, private infrastructure projects, industrial design, transportation, energy, any of these things around the cars world, universe, will be interesting. Don't think of it as the topic graph. Think of it as the interest graph. What are the people who are potentially following me or who I want to following me? What are they thinking about, right? What's in their head? Like that question mark inside the cloud there. Number 3, good artists borrow, great artists steal. Go ahead, follow the best and brightest in your industry. See what they are tweeting and sharing and plussing and putting out on their sites, and then feel free to retweet them sometimes, reshare them sometimes, but also craft your own message around this. Google Plus is a fantastic place to do this. You can take topics or content that people have shared. You can take graphics, images, videos that other people have shared that have gone hot and reshare them with your own messaging around it. This is a great way to do it. I do highly recommend that you hat tip or via the original person who shared it, just to show some respect and make sure that they're getting the credit as well. And other people will do this to you in the future too, meaning that when you share cool stuff and they reshare it, they'll hat tip you, which can grow your followers and all that. Number 4, use Bitly or Google or some URL tracking service to track your clicks and shares, right? What you want to do is actually classify these into groups. What I mean by groups is, if I've got my energy and my cars specific stuff and my industrial design stuff, I want to see which of these is performing very well, which of these is getting a highest % of people resharing and tweeting. Do be careful about timing. If you're sharing on a Sunday morning, it's not, generally speaking, going to do as well as if you're sharing Tuesday midday. But be aware of those things and then classify into groups, and you can see which things perform very well. You can then find your highest resharing rates and drop the stuff, right? Drop the irrelevant stuff. Drop the stuff that's not earning you those clicks, that's not earning you the shares. That tends to be the type of stuff that is going to actually drag down your account's signal to noise ratio, which is a big factor in determining whether you're going to follow somebody. And the last and final thing, I know I said I'd only give 4 tips, but be consistent. If you're doing this for 30 days and you're thinking, oh, it's not working, I'm barely growing my followers, I got like, maybe 10 new followers in the last week, that's okay. You need to keep at it. The thing about social media and blogging and content production and participation on the web is that it very much rewards those people who stick it out month after month, even in slower months, even when it's not working out. What you'll find is that your traffic or your follower growth looks a lot like this. You'll see that it goes, oh, it's raising a little bit. Yeah, it got a little better. Whoa. And then something happens. You figure it out, your community starts figuring it out, people start talking about you, your profile explodes, and this moment is often, 1 to 4 years after you start doing all the good stuff. And this is just a consistent challenge. You've got to stick with it if you want to get here. All right, everyone, hope you've enjoyed this Google Plus video, and we will see you again next time. Cheers.